Beneath the ordinary world lies a veil, and behind it, the voices of the lost still whisper.
We are your guides into the shadows, where true crime meets the paranormal.
From chilling crimes to haunted histories, we uncover the stories that refuse to rest.
This is Veil of Echoes.
Help us.
60 years later, the mountains still won't rest.
When the case files were reopened, the paper cracked like ice. Reports missing, photos bleached white, and on one reel of tape, voices no one remembers recording.
They sound close, too close, like someone standing just behind the microphone. We saw the light. It's coming down the hill.
Stay together.
Run.
Whatever chased them that night left no tracks, no fingerprints, only bodies and questions.
The rescuers found them half buried, hands torn by bark, ribs shattered from within, and yet no sign of a struggle, as if the mountains itself had pressed down and then let it go.
We call it an avalanche that never fell, a wind that sings below hearing, or weapons the state swore never existed, each theory colder than the last.
Radiation on their clothes, skin turned orange, hair gone gray overnight, 9 lives erased, and a silence stamped, classified.
But sometimes, when you play the recording backwards, she answers.
They shouldn't have looked. Hey guys, welcome back to Veil of Echoes.
We're your hosts. I'm Lyndsay.
I'm Zach.
And I'm Bria. Last week we followed the 9 who vanished into the storm. Tonight we return to that same mountain, to face the questions the cold refused to answer.
This episode explores the theories, science, and legends surrounding the Dyatlov Pass incident. From the official Soviet investigation to the possibilities that defy reason.
It includes references to radiation exposure, fatal injuries, and speculation that some listeners may find unsettling. Listeners' discretion is advised.
But before we step back into the cold, we just want to say thank you. If Veil of Echoes has drawn you in, if you felt the chill or the wonder of these stories, please take a moment to rate and review our show wherever you listen. Your words help new listeners find their way through the veil, and every review keeps our lantern burning.
And if there's a case, haunting, or unsolved mystery that's been echoing in your mind, you can send it our way through Instagram, TikTok, or Facebook at Veils of Echoes Podcast. Your suggestion might be the next story we bring to the light.
Now, let's open the case files, once sealed in frost, and listen to the theories that survive the cold. February 26, 1959. Searchers spot a pale orange shape buried under snow. The tent, still upright, but slid open from the inside.
Inside, boots, parkas, diaries stacked in order. Bread half eaten on a plate. Everything intact, except the people.
The footprints led away in socks and bare feet. 9 sets, pacing calmly downhill through powder that should have erased within hours. 500 meters later, the fire.
Beneath a cedar tree, Eerie D and Eerie K. Bare-chested, burned, hands torn by bark. They had climbed high, maybe searching for the tent. Or for light.
Between the tree and the tent, 3 more. Igor, Zena, and Rastim, all facing uphill, as if they tried to crawl home.
2 months later, the thaw revealed the last 4. In a ravine beside a snow den they built. Ludmila, Nikolai, Alexander, and Semyon. Their injuries defied logic.
Autopsy reports from the Sverdlovsk Forensic Bureau read like riddles. Ludmila, 6 broken ribs, both sides. Nikolai, skull fracture the width of a hand. And Semyon, 4 ribs crushed inward, lungs collapsed. Yet none showed external bruising, as if the pressure came from inside, like being hit by a shock wave.
Bodies showed no defensive wounds, no traces of another party. Temperature that night, minus 30 Celsius. Winds at 30 meters per second. All but 2 died from hypothermia. Yet the trauma didn't fit exposure.
Then the radiation test. Ludmila's sweater, 5,000 counts per minute. Alexander's jacket, 15 times background. Officials blamed contamination from the university lab, but that didn't explain the orange-gray skin or hair that looked singed.
Jeez, Jackson.
Locals who saw the bodies before burial swore the flesh glowed faintly in torchlight. Those notes disappeared from later copies of the report.
To calm the rumors, the Soviet government needed a rational cause. The first, an avalanche.
But the slope's angle, 23 degrees, was too shallow. Even modern avalanche models couldn't recreate a sliding strong enough to crush bones, yet leave the tent standing. In 2019, scientists recreated the scene with satellite data and found a delayed slab avalanche might be possible. It could explain the trauma, but not the missing eye or tongues.
Others blamed katabatic winds. Air so dense and fast it can rip tents from the ice like paper. If it hit suddenly, panic might have driven them downhill, but their footprints stayed calm. No chaos, no running.
Then came the infrasound theory. Low-frequency vibrations below hearing that can induce dread, nausea, even hallucination. A storm that frightens the body before it knows why.
Still, infrasound leaves no broken ribs, no crushed skulls, no radiation burns.
Hypothermia explains part of it. At 30 below, skin freezes in minutes. Nerves misfire. and some victims tear off their clothes, a phenomenon called paradoxical undressing. That's why Ludmila and Alexander were half naked, but others had layered themselves in scavenged garments. Logic fighting instinct.
Five died of cold, 4 from trauma, no footprints but their own, no foreign DNA, 9 friends, and a mystery that still won't know. If every scientific answer ends with a new impossible detail, does that mean the science is wrong? Or that the mountain was testing more than physics that night?
I think the mountain was testing more than physics. That's how I feel about it.
I mean, I can see why all these kind of make sense, but again, it doesn't explain their hair changing.
Hair changing to fucking gray and their fucking skin
changing.
being orange.
And then their eyes and tongue being ripped out.
Yeah.
That's what gets me is
The avalanche isn't gonna do that.
No, the avalanche isn't gonna be like, let me take your eyes and your tongues.
Right?
Let me come get those things.
Sucks.
They look pretty nice. I like to collect them.
Yeah.
Like, no, that
There's something else
just
for sure.
something 100%.
Yeah.
That
They want us to think it was an avalanche.
Yeah, there's just too many other pieces to say hypothermia or...
I mean, they probably did have hypothermia, but that's not like...
Yeah, just the missing eyes and tongue. That's where everybody's like, what's going on there?
And like...
Oh, what?
them ripping the tent from the inside. Like, that would make sense with like radiation exposure or something. But
Yeah. That or they finally did like start going completely nuts. And
yeah.
They felt like they were being closed in on with the tent, how small it is.
Yeah.
That they just went fucking nuts and...
Yeah, and there's 9 people in there.
Yeah.
How big it was? I want to know how big. I seen a picture
yeah,
of it.
but say it's not that
I was
big of
about
a
to
tent.
say it wasn't that big of a tent.
But they've been using it though, you know?
Yeah.
It's still weird.
Yeah, it is.
Well, I thought this was their first night camping.
Well, yeah, they veered off.
They were hiking and stuff, but that was their
Yeah, but
first
you'll
time
still
they set
know,
up
like,
the camp.
what size tent to get for that
Yeah.
amount of people. Originally, it was going to be 10.
No, that one guy got lucky.
Yeah, I wonder, he probably had survivor's guilt though.
Oh, yeah. I know, I would.
Yeah.
That...
All
Because
the
that would
what
suck.
ifs, like what happened? Like, what if I stayed? Yeah, that sucks.
It's just... It's sad knowing
is.
that he was the only survivor.
Yeah, that is sad.
Another Yuri.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
3 Eerie's, yeah.
Yeah, he was going to be the 3rd.
Yeah, that's sad.
It was like, we got 2 of them, we don't need a 3rd one.
Yeah,
I already got my 2 Yuris. That 3rd one can go home.
the mountain, yeah. Fucked.
Mountain was just like, nah. These are the 2 Yuris I want. I really don't want that one. I think there's something wrong with it.
Yeah, they veered off to what? Mountain of the Dead?
Meow.
They took the wrong path, right? And ended
Yeah.
up there, so... I don't know. There's a reason it's called that.
Yeah, There's a reason why it's called Mountain of Death.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like Mount Everest should be called that.
Yes, definitely.
Mount Everest of the Dead.
That mountain creeps me out.
Well, especially knowing
'Cause their
that
eyes-
there's bodies are just sitting there that people just walk past.
But the thing is, some of their eyeballs are missing too because crows peck them out.
Well, who knows? Maybe that's what happened with them. I mean,
That's what happens on Mount Everest, so,
like
Yeah.
you walk up to a body, where's its eyes? Oh, that's from the crows.
Ugh.
They just like to have fun with the eyeballs. They just take them.
It's so creepy. You just walk, you gotta leave it there. Like, why don't they, I don't know. that's another story.
Yeah, I don't like that they leave some of the bodies up there.
I mean, I get it can be dangerous to retrieve them, but...
Some of them, though, if you look at where they're at, it doesn't look like it would be that big of a issue recovering a body.
But I think you have to sign... Do you have to sign a waiver and stuff to go up it? So, I mean, technically...
You know, that's a good question.
You know?
We're going to answer that.
I thought I read somewhere you have to sign... Like, it's... For one, it's really expensive to even do it. You gotta pay a lot.
Yeah, which is wild.
And then I remember... I forgot his name. But, he was a snow... Was he a snowboarder? Or was he skiing? I don't remember now. But... Anyways, he wanted to go up to the highest point and... Was it a skier or snowboarder? I don't remember. Anyways, he wanted to make it down to the bottom. And that was he took off and that was the last time they saw him. Never saw him again.
So, in order to climb Mount Everest, you have to have a climbing permit.
Makes sense.
But I'm not seeing anything about a waiver.
I wonder if that permit is the waiver.
So it says right here, the government of Nepal ruled that all climbers seeking to climb Mount Everest must have previously climbed a Nepalese mountain with a height of 21,325 feet or higher.
Yeah, the government permit. Yeah, it says key requirements that serve as liability releases. Although you don't sign a specific waiver, you are required to sign a comprehensive medical certificate and mandatory insurance policies before climbing Mount Everest.
That's what this says right here. Climbers must also submit documentation certifying that they are in good health and physical fitness, as determined by a medical health professional.
Yeah.
Furthermore, climbers are required to undergo a basic training session for good mountaineering practices and high-altitude climbing techniques.
Jesus.
Purchase rescue insurance. Nepal requires that all climbers purchase rescue insurance.
Per expedition type, costs can range from $30,000 to $45,000 for basic support with local operator. For mid-range, a balanced supported expedition typically falls between $45,000 and $70,000. High-end Western guide expect to pay anywhere from $75,000 to over $120,000 for full services trips led by Western guides, with prices going up to $175,000 for a personal Western guide.
Dear God.
Yeah. Jeez. But then you're risking your life too. So here, take all my money, and then I'm probably not gonna make it down. But here,
take my money.
I mean, they say money can't go with you.
She was supposed to come down yesterday. Nah, that obviously ain't happening.
That's a good business plan.
Yeah. Where did the money go? I'm curious. I guess it goes to
Nepal.
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
So
Well, there's
seems
thrill
like.
seekers out there.
Me.
I don't know if... Oh.
That's why I like to play with venomous snakes.
Would you climb up Mount Everest? It's freezing.
No, because I don't do cold. Fuck the cold.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I'll stay inside where it's
30.
Ugh.
As soon as it gets down to 65 degrees, I'm already complaining, alright?
Yeah. I could imagine.
I mean, I like fall. Don't get me
I love
wrong.
fall and I love spring.
But I like to be warm.
Yeah, wintertime, I like snow if I'm inside and I'm like under blankets.
And watching a movie.
And I don't have to work.
Yep.
If I don't have to leave. Yeah. But.
That's the best time.
Mm-hmm.
When the investigation closed in 1959, the verdict used only 5 words: death caused by a compelling natural force. The files were sealed, For more than 30 years, only the state could read what the mountain had to say.
Rescuers recalled extra boot prints near the tent, military-style soles, not hiking boots. Helicopter logs show flights over the region before the camp was officially found.
Families were barred from viewing the bodies, coffins sealed. 2 rolls of film confiscated for development and never returned. The frame numbers jump like memories cut away.
On March 9th, 1959, while the search was still underway, the case file was transferred to the KGB's 3rd Department. Responsible for industrial and scientific security, internal memos classified it as a Category 1 incident.
That tag was normally reserved for military accidents or weapon tests, but no such tests were acknowledged anywhere near Kolot, Psychal.
In a 1990 interview, lead investigator Lev Ivanov confessed that he was told to remove every mention of fireballs in the sky. He later said, "I'm convinced they died because of tests of a new weapon."
Declassified flight schedules list parachute mine training in the Ivdel district on February 1st and 2nd, the same nights the hikers died.
Parachute mines detonate above ground, creating shockwaves strong enough to crush internal organs while leaving no external bruising. That pattern matches the ravine bodies.
That's interesting.
Very.
Fucking KGB, I told you. I told you.
I mean, that makes sense why that explains why they didn't have any external bruising.
Mm-hmm.
Soil samples from the site later showed oxidized nitrogen compounds, the same residue left by high explosive tests, but the official report called it background radiation.
Dozens of witnesses' statements were edited or lost. Entire paragraphs of the autopsies are blacked out. Temperature readings, chemical tests, and times of death.
Mortuary workers later said they were warned not to speak about the orange skin or the burn-like marks on the corpses. 2 rescuers were hospitalized with lesions soon after leaving the site. Their medical records were sealed.
Even the investigators changed, reassigned, transferred, scattered across the Ural districts within months. The trail didn't go cold. It was frozen on purpose.
Villagers and pilots reported orange spheres gliding above the mountains that week. Others describe a flash, like the sun falling through the snow.
Photographs taken by the search team shows treetops scorched and branches snapped as if by heat. Those images were labeled unrelated.
If something fell from the sky that night, something they weren't meant to see, perhaps the truth was buried under orders, not under snow.
In 2019, the Russian investigative community reopened the case. 9 theories considered, 8 dismissed. They settled on one: a small slab avalanche.
Yet, no crushed tent, no buried gear, no debris field. For the families, it wasn't closure. It was history repeating itself.
Because if the truth was a weapon test, a classified operation, or simply a storm. It still took 9 lives and left nothing but questions on ice. So if a truth is dangerous enough to bury for 60 years, does that make it less terrifying or more?
More.
Oh yeah.
And technically, it's still buried because they said that's what they fell up on. No, that's not what you fell
A
up
small
on. That's what you
slab
were told.
avalanche, my ass. I'm sorry. That's
That's
stupid.
the
Yeah.
conclusion they were told to come to.
An avalanche
Exactly.
is not going to change your hair.
No, they were told.
Oh yeah.
They were paid.
Uh-huh.
Well, even rescuers were showing signs of what these bodies had on them right after coming out of there.
Yep.
So my question is, I guess someone spotted it. I mean, if this is what happened.
Villagers.
Well, like the people who obviously ripped their tongues out and eyeballs out, were they like being watched? Like, did they know someone was? You know what I mean? Like,
Because to me, I think of
because they seen those military style boot prints.
when I see
Yeah.
it or when I hear about it, though, I think of see no evil and speak no evil.
Yeah,
Lose the tongue, you can't talk.
that's true.
Lose the eyes, can't see anything.
Well, I know they did. They ripped the tongue and eyes off of one of the girls. Dang it. Which one was it? And then a guy, his eyes were also gouged out, but I think it was just her tongue was gone. But the others, I don't know.
Maybe they didn't want them saying anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
Especially if there's radiation around.
Oh yeah. But I'm just like, how did they know they were there though? You know what I mean?
It's Russia. That's all you have to say. It's Russia.
Probably have little scout camps everywhere throughout.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah. Those poor people though, they're just going on a hiking adventure and then they just got themselves in a wrong situation.
Then they
wrong time.
died.
Yeah.
Because they went off track.
Yeah.
Hey, we're gonna go to this mountain, we're gonna have some fun, and then we're gonna die.
Yeah. I don't know. Definitely it's all fishy for sure. I have a feeling it has something to do with
I think they saw something they weren't supposed to see.
exactly. Yeah.
Long before the files were unsealed, the night sky above Dyatlov Pass had already become legend.
In February 1959, witnesses across the Ural settlement reported glowing orbs, bright orange spheres drifting silently from north to south. Pilots on local routes logged them as unidentified luminous phenomena.
Rescuers later spoke of finding trees singed at their tops, as though brushed by fire from above. No one could say whether it was weapon debris, a meteor, or something else entirely.
Some historians believe those lights came from a failed R-7 rocket test or parachute mines, but the reports also match descriptions of what Western researchers were just beginning to call UFOs.
Soviet authorities dismissed these accounts, but in declassified memos, the term spherical lights appears again and again.
For locals, it wasn't rockets. It was Ogni Gori, mountain fire. The spirits of the sky warning intruders to leave. Don't look up.
The idea of alien contact found its roots in those orange orbs. If an object broke apart overhead, its radiation could explain the hikers' burns, the glowing clothes, the singed hair,
Even the scattered camera photos show light streaks across the frame, unlike any exposure artifact. Were they photographing the sky? Or something that was watching them?
Skeptics say it was coincidence, a rocket flare or lens reflection. But some of the rescuers swore they saw lights reappear during the search. Twice, they vanished when helicopters approached.
Then, there was the strangest theory of all. The creature in the snow. One of the recovered photos shows a tall, dark silhouette standing amongst the trees. The hikers had joked in their journals about a snowman watching them. When the film was developed, that joke became a headline. Russian Bigfoot kills 9.
No evidence ever proved a predator. No claw marks, no tracks larger than human. Yet to this day, some swear a figure can be seen between the trees in that final frame.
I mean, I saw the picture. It looks, I don't know. It just looks like, I don't know.
Does it look like Sasquatch?
Does it look like the Yeti?
It looks like, to me, like, hold on. It's like, it kind of looks like a purse. I don't know, but I guess I can see because he's all in black.
KGB.
I was about to say, it's the KGB. The whole thing. The whole
Definitely
thing.
looks more man than ape.
Yeah,
I was about to say, that definitely looks more like a man, not a
it
fucking
does.
Yeti or
So
Sasquatch.
it's like,
Looks like somebody trying to
me-
be sneaky.
like, was it? I know I've seen things like they thought, was it one of the hikers? No. Yeah, I don't know. It does. It's suspicious.
Don't be suspicious.
Don't be suspicious. And don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
The Mansi people spoke of Mink, a mountain spirit, half man, half shadow, a guardian that punishes those who trespass. To them, Dyatlov Pass was never a destination. It was a warning.
Some modern researchers look not to creatures, but to energy. They cite ball lightning, plasma orbs that appear during storms, glowing, silent, and strong enough to burn skin.
Soviet scientists in the 1970s speculated that an electromagnetic anomaly could have caused both panic and the radiation readings on their clothes.
Others claim the mountain itself is charged, a geological fault releasing bursts of natural energy, a magnetic storm that bends light and sound.
Whatever it was, it left traces. Strange burns, erratic compass readings, and stories of glowing footprints that still surface for modern hikers.
From faith to superstition, every theory tries to name the same fear. That the mountain isn't just a place, but a presence.
Maybe the hikers looked up and saw the truth, something neither the state nor the sky wanted witnessed.
They saw us.
And in trying to prove what they'd seen, they become part of the story the mountain keeps retelling.
So if you stood under that same sky and saw the lights moving where no lights should be, would you call it, science or something beyond that?
I mean, I always want to think there's UFOs or aliens. But I mean, I could see both.
100% UFOs.
Oh, yeah. But I mean, I could see, like, if it was a experiment or
Yeah.
something. You know, I can, obviously. But, I mean, something's going on if there's no...
KGB. KGB.
Yeah, because, I mean, there's villagers and pilots. I mean, not just the hikers.
I mean, they live there, so they know, like,
Yep.
what's
Okay.
suspicious and not.
Yeah, they've seen this stuff. It's not just like it popped
That's-
up during this time.
Yeah.
That's exactly why I say KGB.
Uh-huh. And it was weird how it was around the same time they...
Yeah, right after they took over
Because
the
they
investigation.
be listening on the other side of the phone.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
that's how they were.
Now you got me feeling like they're listening to us somehow.
It's just me.
They're spying on us.
I'm a Russian spy.
Every time the story felt complete, another version surfaced. A new whisper in the static.
A spy among them. A courier caught in a trade gone wrong. A camera hiding film that no one ever developed.
Some said they carried secret radio parts for Western contacts. Others believed a double agent joined their group at the last moment. His orders to observe, not survive.
A handful of researchers still point to sound weapons, prototype devices that emit low-frequency pressure waves. No records prove their existence. Yet, the injuries mirror blunt force without impact.
Others swear it was chemical testing. Samples from the ravine held traces of oxidized nitrogen, enough to hint at explosive residue. Too little to prove it.
If they stumbled into a weapons range, the mountain didn't kill them. It was the coldest cover story ever written.
Some psychologists call it collective delirium, the way fear spreads like infection in thin air.
Others saw signs of mercury poisoning from camp stove fuel, tremors, confusion, hallucinations in the snow.
But madness leaves chaos. Their steps were still in a line.
February 2nd, the same date as the Soviet parachute mine tests, the same week as the classified satellite launch from the Baikonur. Coincidence or alignment?
Local legends spoke of the Mountain of the Dead. Years earlier, Mansi hunters died there in an avalanche on that same slope.
The mountain had already chosen its name long before the students arrived. We heard it coming.
Don't move.
They saw us.
When every answer splinters into 10 new stories, how do you decide which voice to believe?
I'm gonna believe myself. I'm gonna have my own theory, and that's the theory I'm gonna believe in. KGB.
I mean, I think that's what makes it more complicated, though, because each theory, I mean, there is a part that makes it, but, like, again, the avalanche, no.
No.
Bigfoot, no.
They think there's a spy that snuck in right at the end on a suicide mission just to watch them and make sure they didn't do whatever, and they did it. So I guess he took them out and himself.
Yeah.
Which is why it makes me think of the see no evil, speak no evil, hear no evil.
Yeah.
But like maybe he didn't know he was going to die if it was a spy situation.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he thought he was supposed to survive and then too late.
Yeah, there's all kinds. I was also reading there's theories that could have been reindeer or a wolverine.
Logan up there just slashing these motherfuckers like
Grandma got ran over by a reindeer.
one pissed off reindeer.
Sparry, say, what the fuck is wrong with those reindeers, man?
Well, for this wolverine, it says, like a skunk, it can spray a rather stinky liquid, a discharge from special glands. Facts this theory is based on: testimonies of traces seen in the area. The group was eating at the time when something made them flee the tent. They were cutting loin. The smell of food had a hypnotic effect on a hungry beast. The wolverine tried to climb inside the tent through the main entrance. Most likely, the reaction of the hikers was to drive the predator away by hitting the beast with all sorts of objects, including their cameras, hence the broken light filter, and deep scratches on the case and torn strap on their cameras. The wolverine tries to escape and gets entangled in the tarp of the tent. Once trapped, the wolverine splashes its chemical weapons indoors. In a matter of minutes, the tent is filled with unbearable stench. Panic reigns inside the tent. Dark, unbearably stinks. Chaos begins. I don't know.
So you're
Yeah,
telling
I'm
me
not gonna believe that one.
that's an actual theory?
Yeah.
All right.
These are, like less common.
Well, yeah, I've never heard anything about the reindeer or the wolverine, but Jesus.
Yeah. Or like the catabatic winds. Moderate to strong winds with whirling snow. But that doesn't explain... I don't know. Doesn't explain the missing tongue. Or the missing eyes.
And doesn't explain how the tent was still standing.
What were they climbing the tree for? They were,
KGB!
Because what? It said like... The trees had missing... Or, yeah, broken branches up to 20 feet high.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know.
You know that Bigfoot was chasing him up it.
Yep.
Yeah.
He had to do a photo bomb right at the last minute.
Yeah. I mean, I could see why the KGB is the most believable, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
We'll ask the questions.
I don't know. It's unfortunately unsolved, so who knows?
Unsolved.
Well, actually, I'm sorry. They said it was a small slab avalanche.
Bullshit my ass.
So that's what they're saying.
It's officially solved, they say.
Yeah.
Bullshit.
But we know something's not right there.
Yeah. And all the redacted stuff they took, like all the stuff. Why would they? Or like they wouldn't let the family see their bodies, or
Yeah, that. There's redacted. They wouldn't let the family see their body. There was gray hair, orange skin, internal damage without external damage.
even the rescuers saw
They had
boot prints that were
yeah,
looking like military boot prints. So I
military
don't know,
issue boot print style stuff.
Yeah.
Wow.
I
don't know.
I just think these poor people got themselves in wrong
place, wrong time.
exactly.
That wrong turn.
Yeah. Today, on the slope of the Mountain of the Dead, a stone marker stands half buried in frost. 9 names carved into granite. 9 friends who never came home.
Each February, hikers retrace their route. They bring flowers, photographs, scraps of fabric. Some leave a lantern burning until the wind snuffs it out.
The mountain has changed. New trails, new maps, new governments. But the air still carries that same thin stillness, as if it remembers every breath that was taken here.
Igor, the leader who planned every step. Xena, bright and fearless. Rustim, the athlete who kept them laughing. Yuri D and Yuri K, the first to face the storm, still side by side beneath the cedar.
Ludmila, outspoken, brave, never backed down. Nikolai, the engineer with a camera to the end. Alexander, the quiet one who saw logic in everything. And Simone, the veteran who joined at the last moment, chasing one final certificate and maybe peace.
And Yuri Yudin, the 10th hiker who turned back from illness and spent the rest of his life asking why he was spared.
That's depressing.
Very depressing. In 2019, Russia's investigative committee reopened the file. They ruled an avalanche. Again. But each year, new researchers climb back with drones, sensors, and hope.
They take temperature readings, measure slopes, collect fragments of film. And when the wind rises, they say it sounds like voices calling names.
Maybe that's coincidence. Or maybe memory itself echoes here, frozen in the snow, waiting for someone to listen long enough to understand.
We remember them not for how they died, but for how fiercely they lived, chasing mountains, laughter, and light.
9 souls, forever part of the wind. 9 names the mountain will never forget.
Igor, Xena, come back.
The files may close, the theories may fade, but the silence, the one that started that February night, still moves across the snow.
We're still here.
Sometimes it feels like every time we walk away from a story, it stays with us a little too long. This one stays cold.
The Dyatlov hikers left notebooks full of songs, jokes, and sketches of mountains. They never meant to become a mystery. They just wanted to finish a journey.
And maybe that's why their story matters so much. Because behind every headline and theory, there were 9 ordinary people chasing something extraordinary.
Whether it was nature, secrecy, or something we'll never name, the mountain took their voices. But it also gave them immortality.
Every researcher who goes back there is still trying to give those voices meaning, to prove that the world can't erase people just by covering them with snow.
Maybe the truth isn't in the evidence at all. Maybe it's in the echoes. The reminder that curiosity, courage, and friendship can outlast even the coldest night.
So, After hearing everything, the facts, the theories, the legends, what do you guys believe truly happened on that mountain? Science, secrecy, or something that still waits out there in the snow?
Secrecy. KGB.
Yeah, there's no facts. It's all theory.
Yep.
Yeah.
They know exactly what happened, and they just don't want to say for some reason. If you have all that power, you are scared to get the truth out there.
Yeah, I don't understand why they... I don't know. Can they just say, well, then it's a secret
Yep.
weapon they're testing, so I guess they can't really say. They just came into our testing zone and died from it.
Well, yeah, because, I mean...
They just got fucked.
If there's a theory out there that they're infiltrated by a spy, then maybe somebody thought they were spies as well.
Yeah.
Heading that way for a reason, not just hiking.
Right.
And it was in the time of the Cold War. And if they had weapons that they were building that could do this kind of stuff, then of course they didn't want nobody knowing that.
Mm-hmm. But then again...
Allegedly. That's all theory.
KGB.
Russian Investigative Committee declared, 3 times? Avalanche.
Avalanche.
I don't
With so
know.
much stuff being able to prove it's just not that. So why can't you send out other investigators? Why is it always the same investigative committee doing it?
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, like I said, there's lots of theories to this, and it makes, but, again, I think they just went into a spot, unfortunately, they weren't supposed to go into. Kind of paid for it. And that concludes this episode of Veil of Echoes. Thank you for walking with us through the frozen mystery of the Dyatlov Pass incident. A story that reminds us how easily curiosity becomes tragedy. Every listen, follow, and review keeps our lanterns burning and helps new listeners find their way through the veil.
And if there's a case, haunting, or an unsolved mystery you'd like us to cover, send your recommendation through our social or by messaging your ideas to help guide which stories we bring into the light next.
Follow Veil of Echoes podcast on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook for haunting visuals, behind-the-scene moments, and glimpses of the tales waiting just beyond the dark.
Next Monday, the cold gives way to heat. From the ice of the Urals to a trailer baking under the New Mexico sun. Inside, a mirror-lined room the killer called his toy box. A space filled with surgical instruments, change, and the sound of his so-called toys waiting in the dark.
He claimed it was for pleasure. Investigators call it a chamber of pain. What they found inside would make even monsters look away.
David Parker Ray, the man who built his own world of screams and silence. But the question isn't what he did. It's how many never came back out. This case is too dark for just one descent through the veil, so we'll be taking you inside his toy box over 2 parts.
Some say the tapes he left behind still play when the wind hits the desert just right.
Sometimes it's not the wind you hear, it's a voice asking if you want to play.
And somewhere out there, a door clicks shut.
Until then, keep your ears open.
And the veil closed.